Hello, this is Chris again. Decided to make a part 2 for my mode door actuator installation on a 1999 Chrysler 300. And just wanted to give you guys a couple of pointers. If you watched the first video, you saw how I got the new actuator to work. And I want to show you where it goes in. I'm not going to do the entire installation. Just wanted to show you that it's a good idea to test this before you start putting all of your crap back on, because what a pain in the ass if you were to go and put this back in and put everything else back on just to find out that it wasn't turning the wheel. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. Hang on, I'm going to set my phone down while I disconnect this connector to the climate control, because I wanted it out of the way so that I could see what I was doing when I was putting in the new actuator. So I had removed the climate control, which again is that piece here. Just connects to the back using this connector. I'm assuming that if you're working on your car like this, then you know a little bit of what you're doing. Because otherwise you're going to be scratching your head a lot watching my video, which you probably will be doing anyway. So I'm going to try to get up under here. Okay, so the actuator sits up here, and it's a little hard to see. Hang on, try to get a light. Okay, got my flashlight. So I put that connector back on. If you can tell, it just goes 2 bolts right there and right there. There's 2 bolts that connect that up into the housing. And then for the actuator, it just goes right there. And you can see that there's 2 bolts on this side, and then there's a bolt on the other side. It's 8mm bolts. There's not a lot of head on them, so save yourself a lot of headache. Don't try to put a socket on it, because there's not a lot of head on that bolt. You'll just keep slipping, especially at the angle. I had to be upside down inside the driver's side. So just try to get it. Just use an open end wrench, 8mm. And there's a wheel there that it sits on top of. You can kind of see the wheel sticking out a little bit right there. You want to make sure that when you put the actuator back in, that you get it sitting inside that correctly. You can spin that wheel and get that actuator, get the motor to fit inside there. So once you have that, you got it bolted down, test your system. If you don't test it, there's a good chance that you're going to put everything back on, find out that you didn't do it right. So once you have the actuator back in, you're going to go and take this wire. Sorry you can't see it, I only have 2 hands. Yeah. Hook it back to the back of your climate control, and you can just let that sit. Start your car. Remember, this was only blowing out of the defrost before. I couldn't get it to blow out of these front vents here. So start the car. My temp control, there it goes. Sometimes actually a little touchy, but I had put it here. Now I've got it to floor. Nothing's blowing out, and the vents for the floor are actually not attached right now, so I'm not going to feel anything coming out of the floor. But before, it used to be these buttons did nothing, just touched them and it just still continued to blow out of the defrost. So now if I go and hit for the top vents, should change right now. The motor should be spinning, and now I have air coming out of these vents. So make sure you test that before you put everything back on. Thank you for watching.